Well, welcome in once again, everybody, to another edition of Pick Your Politics, the show that brings you candidates that are either in office that want to retain their seat, want to keep their job, or people that want their job. So it's important for you to get to know them, what their thinking is, what their thoughts are, what they would like to do in their position. And it's very, very important that you make an informed decision when you get out and vote. And you got to vote because that is the most important thing. Please like and share and subscribe to the show when you're watching. We very much appreciate that. We've got a young lady on the show today that is going to be very interesting for you, I promise. And there's one thing I've got to ask you before we get going. And I don't know whether other people ask you, are you related in any way to the Nordstroms that own the chain of department stores?
So
and I think there's like 360 across the country. And I'm so hoping you are related because I'd like to meet one of them.
So as I understand it, I am distantly related.
Oh, you are?
But it isn't anyone that I know. So yes. Would you like the brief story?
It's nobody that you really know?
No. So my grandfather's parents came over from Sweden, and his father had multiple siblings.
Okay.
And so we believe it's one of those siblings. When they came over, they spread out across the country, and it's one of those siblings that started the Nordstrom
Okay, because
store.
I know they're still the majority stockholder in Nordstrom's,
Yes.
which is a great, for people that have been there, a great store.
And then I've had, in the last couple of years, two different individuals who have known people of the Nordstrom family
Really?
come up to me and say, "You look like them." I said,
Seriously?
really? It's
I'll be
two
darned.
separate people. So, yes.
Okay.
Apparently there's some sort of similarity.
Well, that's okay.
It's okay.
It's all right with you. Currently, Shannon is a candidate for Las Vegas City Council in Ward 2. And if memory serves me correctly, which it doesn't happen all the time, I believe that's mostly Summerlin.
It does include a Summerlin North, yes, some of Summerlin West. Yes,
Okay.
it looks like a jigsaw puzzle piece. So the easternmost boundary is Buffalo,
Is Buffalo.
and then it goes west. It generally goes along Lake Mead to the north, although there's one piece that's above Lake Mead and another portion below Lake Mead that goes up into Ward 4. And then between Durango and Hualapai, it goes all the way down to Desert Inn, so it captures the lakes, Pecole Ranch,
Right.
Canyon Gate,
Okay.
going north there. But then once you get west of Hualapai, the southern border is Charleston.
Okay.
And then there's another piece along the Buffalo border between Charleston and the Summerlin Parkway, Buffalo and Durango, that goes over into Ward 1.
Okay. I just recently moved from Summerlin. I was there forever. And so a lot of things build up around me. It's a
Yes.
great area. Great area of town. And I'm sure you walk the neighborhood fairly often.
I do.
What do you hear from people there?
I hear a lot of things from people. I've been on a listening tour for over a year. What the residents share with me the most is that as far as their concerns go, they're concerned about home break-ins, car break-ins, street lights that are out, homelessness, and particularly in Summerlin North and West, what I hear is about the e-bikes and the e-scooters that are being misused by some of our youth.
Yeah.
So those
Okay,
are
well,
the
that's a
things I
nice way to
hear
put it.
the most. The most.
Shannon is also an attorney, having served in both justice court and municipal court. Yeah, and you've got quite a history as far as that goes, don't you, as far as the judicial background?
So sure, yes. I started originally as a pro tem for Justice Court
Right.
Small Claims and an alternate judge for Las Vegas Municipal Court back in, I think it was 2017 into 2018. Then I was a full-time appointed judge, a hearing commissioner for Las Vegas Municipal Court for 5 years. And during that time, I served a short interim appointment as the sitting judge in Department 6 there.
Okay.
So yes, I did that for 5 years, and then most recently, a pro tem judge for Justice Court.
Yeah, that's nice. You're running because you feel the current system is broken with our city government and disconnected from the people. Why don't you
Yes.
expound on that a little bit?
Sure. So this is what I hear from the people. Certain of our, I'll call them city-facing services that people use a lot, are not working in an efficient way for the people who use them the most. For example, a business licensing and the planning and permitting process. I hear about that quite a bit as I've been on that listening tour this last year. Enough to know that we need to try to do something to make them more user-friendly, efficient,
Right.
and certain when it comes to the timeframes and the requirements and things like that. So I think we can definitely look at some of those community-facing services and help improve those. And that will help a lot of different
Sure.
areas. And then the second part of your question was?
Well, that when you have been on the listening tour, some of the things that, or most of the things that people have talked to you about, and I know that public safety is one, and I know that's near and
The
dear to you.
number one.
Yeah.
So public safety in its broad sense is the number one issue that I've heard. And kind of at the baseline, what voters want is they don't want people to defund their first responders.
No.
They want to make sure that whoever's going to be in office supports their first responders, make sure they have the training, the equipment, and the
Yeah.
resources that they need
Yeah.
to do their jobs. At the same time, public safety is a partnership. First responders can't do that by themselves. The city is a partner in that to make sure that our families have reliable infrastructure so that the traffic is flowing, that the street lights are working, that our roads and our parks are maintained, things like that.
How do you make neighborhoods safer then? People are going to say, well, we need more cops, we need more this and that. But there are other things you could do to make neighborhoods safer.
Yes, and communication, I think, is one of those things. And so each of the area commands with Metro has a first Tuesday. And I would encourage all the residents to go to your specific area command. Build that relationship.
Yeah.
Know who those officers are
Yeah.
who are there. I've been going to First Tuesday for years. I find it very helpful, informative. It's a great way for citizens to interact with their officers and express their concerns. And then our councilwoman, she still is continuing on Breakfast Buzz and Biz that Councilwoman Seaman originally started. And that's a great place for our residents to come and share their concerns as well with the council person. And Metro's usually there, city marshals are usually there. And I think the more information that people can get and that one-on-one feedback,
Sure.
the safer they're going to feel.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. What would you say, in your opinion, Shannon, is the primary purpose of the city council?
My opinion is to represent the people of the ward. That is first, and then the community in the broader sense. But we are each charged with that representation of our constituents.
Right.
And I think you need to be among the people and with the people and listening to them and build that relationship and also help inform them. Because one of the things as far as being disconnected from City Hall, and this isn't just individuals in Ward 2, in fact, it's people all over the community, they feel like they don't find out about big
Yeah.
things
Yeah.
until after the
Afterwards,
decisions
after
are
the
made.
fact, yeah.
When all they can do is express their disappointment or their disagreement or whatever. And so that representation piece is very important to me. And I believe we need to show up, not just during election time, but throughout those years and have that relationship with our constituents and let them know that they can
Yeah.
call us and that we
Yeah.
care
Yeah.
about what's going on and we're going to do our best for them.
You've been involved in a lot of volunteer work at both the community and national levels since, what, 2008?
For a long time.
For a long time.
Yes, a long time.
Yeah.
It's my heart work. It's my heart work. And this is our community, and I love giving back to our community. I grew up with a lot of instability of a variety of sorts.
Really?
And I did. And I have overcome a lot. And when I was a young adult, I had individuals that didn't owe me anything. They weren't my family. They just knew me and they saw how hard I worked and they helped me. Like they poured themselves into me to help me, along my path. And I'm just so grateful for that. And I think that's where maybe it comes from, is my heart to serve, is to give back, and whether it's with a nonprofit or all of the different things that I do. But I love our community, and I think we should all be involved on a volunteer basis in our community, particularly our elected officials.
Absolutely.
To me, that's very important.
Yeah, if you've got the desire, if you've got the time, if you've got the willingness, it's pretty important. In your opinion, what should any city council in any city that has one, what's the main purpose, and do you think their objective would be?
That has one what?
City council.
Oh, a city council?
Yeah.
Is to represent the people and make sure that the city government is working for the people in a way that is accessible, so that the people can use the services, that the services are working for the people, and then trying to problem solve. That's something that I have done for a very long time as an attorney, collecting clients with solutions to their issues. And then as a judge, those two programs that I created, again, solving a problem. And that is one of the, I think, responsibilities of an elected official, is to try to help come up with practical solutions for the issues that the community faces.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. Shannon Nordstrom's our special guest here on Pick Your Politics, and let me ask you this. You say that city government is disconnected from its people. What would you do to help get it back on track?
Thank you. So the first thing, as I said earlier, is to stay connected with the people of Ward 2.
Yeah.
Create that connection, keep that connection, be that resource, so that if someone has a concern, they know they can reach out to me, reach out to the office, and that we're going to do something about it. It's not just going to end up on a list somewhere.
Right.
So that's the first thing. And then the second thing that I specifically would like to do regarding that disconnected piece is do a proactive newsletter that isn't just about what events I've been to and what events are coming up, but what's going on at City Council that impacts Ward 2? What are those zoning changes that are requested that are coming up? How do people participate in that process if they choose, whether they agree or they disagree? But just give them more tools to know what's going on ahead of the decision being made and how they can participate in that process.
Yeah, I agree. You've got to know what's going on.
And most families, they're just trying to keep their family together. They're working, they're taking the kids here and there, and they're busy and they don't have time necessarily to sit down and look at what's coming up on the planning committee agenda, what's coming up on the city council agenda. They don't put that time in. They just trust that their elected officials are doing what's in their best interest, what's right for them, what's right for the community. They don't have time to look into that. And so I think if we help give them that information so they don't have to do the research, then they're more informed.
Because they're doing a lot of assuming. They're doing a lot of assuming. And as a representative of Ward 2, Ward 1, whatever, it's great to have everybody get together, like you say, and have a meeting and say, this is what I'm doing. This is what we're trying to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
And even so, that kind of informative, proactive newsletter to say, this is what's going on.
Newsletter would be great.
Right. So, but what I'm talking about is that substantive newsletter that contains the what's coming up in Ward 2, not just the events, the fun, community things, but the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
that's where the people feel disconnected.
No, they got to stay informed.
Right. And so I want to help them do that, make it easier for them to know before the decisions are made what's happening.
They've got to stay. They definitely have to stay informed. I might have gone back to this, but when you're walking the neighborhoods, knocking on doors, and I assume you're doing that a lot.
I sure am.
Yeah. You can't see her knuckles, but they're bruised and they're bloody, so she's doing that. What are they telling you when you say, "Hi, I'm running for city council in Ward 2 to represent you"? Oh, come on in. Let me tell you this. What are you hearing mostly?
I get really good feedback at the door.
Do you?
And it's not just me, but my husband's out there door knocking. I have a group of friends who are out there door knocking. They get really good feedback, and they're glad that I'm out there speaking with them one-on-one.
I'm sure.
I've had them call me after because my cell phone number is on my literature. If I
Right.
don't talk to them, I leave it. I've had them call me, text me. I've had them call and invite me to come to their house to speak with them. I did that just this past Monday, had a lovely meeting.
Really?
So, yes. So I
Okay.
get really great feedback at the door, and
Yeah.
they're so happy that I'm out and trying to be, more involved in the community.
Yeah. How do you foster, in your opinion, a better working relationship, if that's the term, with the other people that are on the city council?
So I bring,
Because sometimes there's some division, and
Sure.
there's a difference of opinion,
yes.
and everybody's got to get along.
Yes, so I bring a collaborative spirit. So I'm happy to work with anyone. Like, for the most part, our goals are the same. Let's do what's best for our community. And so I think we start there. We have a collaborative spirit. We listen, have open communication, focus on the common goals, and see where we can come together and move forward for the benefit of our community.
Yeah, yeah. How closely do you guys work with the mayor on the city council? Or do you?
I think we all work, I think we should all work closely together. Again, I'm still an observer from the outside, so I don't know from the inside how that all works, but I would imagine that we should all work very closely together.
Yeah, yeah, that's important.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
because she kind of oversees what's
Yes.
going on everywhere.
And even when we disagree, particularly when we disagree,
Yeah.
that we can have those conversations. Because that's how we solve things.
Right.
Is we listen
Exactly
and we have
right.
open communication and we find where we have commonality.
Exactly, yeah. And I think Shelley's pretty open to that.
Good. I hope
And
so.
she's a guy. Two programs you started, Fresh Start Traffic and Fresh Start Specialty Court. Tell us about those and how that came about. Sounds interesting.
Sure, thank you. So as a hearing commissioner, I oversaw Department 20, which was traffic, bicycle, and pedestrian citation. So it was traffic court. And I saw individuals coming in who would tell me 1 month, I take them out of warrant, yes, I'm going to do A, B, or C. They would come back the next time in warrant, they hadn't complied. And it wasn't, I think that they were not being honest with me. I think they really intended to comply. And so I started asking more questions about what's actually going on, what's happening in your life that's preventing you from complying with what you're telling the court. And what I found was that a lot of individuals coming in under that circumstance were either on the verge of or experiencing homelessness.
Wow.
And so the options that the court had at that time weren't really conducive to successful resolution of the cases that those individuals had. And so I started a program that instead of those 3 traditional obligations that they could choose from, to connect them with resources to help them regain their stability, establish their income, and get their situation stable.
Yeah.
Because that's a win for them, but then it's a win for us
Yeah.
too.
All right. Right.
And so that first program really focused on the traffic court, and it was very successful. And the magic was when I brought the community partners from outside of the court, from the community, into the courtroom to connect with them directly. So I had tried several different things and wasn't getting the results I wanted, so I
Yeah.
kept working at it until I found what worked. And that worked. And then during COVID, one of our community partners said to me, I wish we could send some of these other individuals to your program. Well, that wasn't possible then. So I went back, I talked to the people I needed to talk to, and fast forward, we put together a pilot program that applied to those who had criminal misdemeanors, not all of them, but most of them that were with the court. And is a volunteer program like the first one, with the same goal, to help them achieve stable housing and stable income and become productive members of our community again.
Right.
And it really transformed lives. Now, that second program was much more involved. Everyone had an individualized case plan to address all of their barriers, whether it was substance use, mental
Right.
health, ID, you name
Right.
it, whatever it was. And all the community partners came around them together, supported them through the process. And then once they were successful, they graduated and their
Right.
case was dismissed.
Neat.
So
That's very cool.
Thank
That's
you.
very cool.
Thank you.
All right, I'll tell you what, we're going to step away. We're going to take a very short break. We're going to take a minute break, and we're going to be back and finish up with our special guest who is part of an interesting family that you probably shop at. I know. You shop there?
I do not. I do not.
Oh my God, seriously. All right, Shannon Nordstrom is going to be right back with us, so stay tuned. We're going to be right back. Are you a local leader with a message for the community? We want to hear from you. Our podcast is inviting local politicians and public officials to join us for real conversations about the issues that matter most to our community. Share your vision, explain your policies, and connect directly with the people you represent. If you're currently serving, running for office, or involved in shaping local policy, we'd love to have you on the show. Reach out today to schedule an episode and be part of the conversation. Contact me by text at 702-712-3224. All right, we are back with more of Pick Your Politics with our special guest, Shannon Nordstrom, who's running for Las Vegas City Council in Ward 2, which makes up a lot of Summerlin. So we're having a great conversation about that. I know that public safety, and we hit on it a little bit before, is a big concern of yours.
Yes.
And there's only so many things you could do, right, to encourage public safety.
Sure. Well, one of the things that I would like to do once initially elected is meet with our first responders in Ward 2. I already have existing relationships with some of them, so I'd
Yeah.
like to build the rest,
Yeah.
but really make it a partnership on how I can help them with the issues that they find in Ward 2. How
Absolutely.
can I best support them for the benefit of our constituents?
Yeah, and that's important because public safety comes up ranked very high on just about all of the polls that people take.
It's the number one issue.
Yeah, yeah, and doesn't mean that hiring more cops is going to solve the problem. No, it goes deeper than that, doesn't it?
It does. It
Yeah.
does, and it varies neighborhood by neighborhood. In
Yeah.
Ward 2, overall, our violent crime has been trending down,
Yeah.
according to Metro, because I go to those things and they share that with us. And so I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah.
But there are some things that still are of concern to the residents, like the home break-ins and the car break-ins
Right.
and such.
How do you handle homelessness, or how would you?
So that's a very difficult issue.
Very difficult.
The city is working on it, as far as I understand. In the mayor's State of the City address, I was happy to hear that they're trying some new things. Again, I'm still an observer from the outside, so I don't know all the details of that. But I'm very interested and excited to get in and see exactly what the city is doing with those new kind of ways that they're attacking homelessness. I would like to see if there are ways that we can improve homelessness responses in Ward 2, because we have had an increase in homeless individuals
Oh, really?
in Ward 2 over the last couple of years. And,
Okay.
people mention that to me as well.
Okay, yeah, it's a problem. And every time you drive by and you see a bunch of people, and
Well, and-
it just breaks your heart.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all issue. It needs to be approached from many different angles. And then we also need to look at how do we prevent more people from going from housed to unhoused. That's something we also need to take a look at, not just how do we address those who are currently unhoused, but how do we prevent more people from falling from one category into the other.
Right. You have been on a listening tour. What's been the biggest surprise that you've heard about on your listening tour?
The biggest surprise.
And I'm sure you talk about multitudinous areas.
We do. The biggest surprise, probably the heat islands. So I knew it was a concern, but I have heard a lot about the removal of the grass and the killing of the trees and the heat islands that are being created. And
Really?
it's an issue particularly in my specific neighborhood.
That's
and then
interesting.
also some other neighborhoods in Summerlin. And so it's not something that I thought would have, been on the list of things, but
Yeah.
it is definitely an issue, and people are concerned about that.
Wow. Wow. Okay. If people that are listening in want to get a hold of you, give you some support, either knocking on doors, money always works, you know that. What's the best way they could get a hold of you?
So there are many ways. The best way is my cell phone, which is 702-375-6358. Text is best. My website is shannonnordstrom.com. On there you can donate, you can sign up to volunteer.
Yeah,
It's
great.
got the mailing address, all of those things, but you can reach me directly on my cell phone.
And no, you're not going to find the sales going on at the department stores on our website. Sorry.
No, you
about
won't.
that, yeah, but website is the best thing. And you can always use people that are going to help you knock on doors and
Absolutely.
put together events and that.
It takes a village,
Oh, man, it's,
and I'm grateful. I'm so grateful for all of those who have come out and helped
Yeah,
us so far.
yeah.
Yes.
because as I keep saying on all of the shows, running for office is a lot of work. It's a lot of stress. It takes a lot of time, and you need all the help that
Yes.
you can get.
Yes, you do. Every candidate does, yes.
Yeah. So remember that, get her phone number. You got her website. If you want to join her on some of the walks and participate in some of the events, here's your chance.
Yes, we'd love to have you.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Thank
a
you so
community
much.
affair. Thank you for having me. I
Well, thank you
appreciate
for coming, and we'll
it.
see you again.
All right.
And it was just great. And it's going to be here before you know it.
Indeed. Early voting starts the 23rd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Starts the 23rd. And I appreciate you coming in.
Thank you for having
And what
me.
we could do to help you anymore, just let me know.
Thank you. I
Let
will.
me-
I appreciate that so
Yeah,
much.
yeah. I told her because I lived in Summerlin for a long, long time. I lived there before Sun City was even being built. That's how far back I go. And it just a great area. Yeah. But anyway, thank you again so much.
Thank you for having me.
And we will certainly be talking to you again. All right, remember, you can listen, you could write, but the most important thing, you got to get up off the couch and you got to get out and vote once you vet these people, whether you agree with them on all the issues or you don't agree with them on a lot of the issues. But you got to get out and vote, and you got to make your voice heard, no doubt about it. All right, for Shannon and myself, thanks for tuning in. We will see you next time with another show. So until then, so long, everybody.
Thank you.